Dr. John Boyle earned his A.B. in Religion and History from Oberlin College and his MSL from the Pontifical Institute of Medieval Studies, and his M.A. and Ph.D. in Medieval Studies from the University of Toronto. He is a professor of Catholic Studies and Theology at the University of St. Thomas, where he is chairman of the Catholic Studies Department. He writes on the lives and works of St. Thomas Aquinas and Thomas More. He is a research fellow at the University of Dallas's Center for Thomas More Studies and serves as associate editor of Logos, a journal of Catholic thought and culture. He is a recipient of a National Endowment for the Humanities Fellowship, the Aquinas Medal of the University of Dallas, and the University of St. Thomas Distinguished Educator of the Year Award. It is a great honor to have Dr. Boyle with us this afternoon to give our commencement address. Dr. Boyle.
Thank you, Ms. Schmitz. It is a joy to be here with you. Class of 2021, congratulations. And I really mean it. I have some sense of what you've accomplished. I'm not a stranger to Trinity School at River Ridge. I've known it across 3 campuses, 3 headmasters. 10 years ago, exactly 10 years ago, my daughter graduated from Trinity, sitting where you were, it wasn't in the sun. And I've taught many a Trinity grad over the years at St. Thomas. Maybe I'll have the good fortune of teaching some of you. If you are coming to St. Thomas, by the way, you should be in my Theo 100 in the fall. And you can't just sign up for it, you need to talk to me first. So if you're going to St. Thomas, make sure you see me and talk to me so you get in my course. What I'd like to do today is think out loud a little bit with you. I'm a professor and I've got a captive audience of young people. There we go, I can't control myself. I want to begin with a line from Virgil. One of the great things about Trinity School is I don't have to use up time telling you who Virgil is. From his Georgics, Felix, qui potuit rerum cognoscere causam. And for those of you appalled by my soft ecclesiastical Latin pronunciation, and for the families, let me translate. Happy the one who was able to know the cause of things. Happy the one who's able to know the cause of things. This is what makes the Aeneid such a great work. It's what makes Virgil such a great poet. The Aeneid is great not because it's a great story, or rather it's a great story, and what makes it great in Virgil's hands is Virgil wants to understand the cause of things. The Aeneid is about causes of history, causes of human action. The gods, this is why the gods matter so much to Virgil. Right there at the beginning, the invocation of the Muse. Oh, Muse, tell me the cause. Tell me the cause of why Juno sought so hard to inflict pain on one who was so pious. He wants to know the causes of things, the gods, that thoroughly mysterious feature of the Aeneid, fate. It's a question of cause. The passions that motivate divine action and human. Juno's anger, Dido's love, her ultimate madness, and then human freedom. I don't need it. Somebody wants to collect those great. We'll see if I can do without them. That marvel of human freedom. This, I think, is the greatness of Aeneas. In the midst of all that causality, as complicated as it is, he is free. We see it beautifully in Book 4. One of the great images I think Aeneas has is Aeneas knows he must leave Carthage. He must leave Dido because he must found Rome. He must found the new Troy. He knows this. He wills it. And Dido does everything in her power to keep the man she loves, whom she says is her husband, to keep him. She throws everything at him, including her sister. Thank you. And there's that remarkable description of Aeneas like an oak, like an old oak, deep in the soil and the rocks of the Alps, that when the winter storm comes, summer storm, and the winds buffet that mighty oak, seeking to rip out from the ground at its roots, and it holds. Those roots hold. The tree bends, but it doesn't break. It doesn't uproot. This is Aeneas. Aeneas in his freedom. The tears, as Virgil says, fall uselessly. The end of the Aeneid, one of the great moments in all of literature. Aeneas has won in single-handed combat against Turnus. Turnus has fallen. And Turnus begs for mercy. He appeals to the consummate virtue of Aeneas, his piety. And he begs for mercy. And Aeneas is thinking about it because he is human. He is thinking about it. And then he sees the belt of Pallas, whom Turnus had killed, whose body he desecrated, that boy, that youth. And he sees the belt of Pallas on Turnus. And he drives his sword fully into the breast of Turnus and kills him. So ends the Aeneid. A great moment, I think, of human freedom. A moment in which the great virtues of Aeneas, piety and justice, are united in a single deliberative act. Or perhaps his passions got the better of him. That's a subject for a Trinity seminar. My point, I have a point, yes. Virgil is not just content in a liberal arts curriculum. Virgil is a product of the liberal arts. We wouldn't have Virgil without the liberal arts. It's not the other way around. Gerard Wegemer, who I think is the greatest living authority on Thomas More, calls them the arts of liberty. I think that's good. The liberal arts, the arts of liberty. Political and economic, yes. To form citizens capable of freedom, yes. But there's a deeper freedom at work here. There's the freedom of the human person, no matter what the political or economic circumstances. The liberal arts, the skill needed to be free. Skills in, I don't need to tell you, the true, the good, and the beautiful. That's why Virgil can say, happy the one who has known the causes of things, because he's understood the truth. And the truth is at the heart of those arts of freedom. Happy the one who has known these. There's a line of causality here. There's a very precise line of causality. The true, the good, and the beautiful, freedom, and happiness. Freedom. A capacity, let me put this to you, freedom, a capacity to initiate from within us what is new in its very being. To bring into existence something that I have initiated, that could not be without my initiation. In freedom, we initiate and we choose. That's interior to us. But for true freedom, we have to initiate what is right and what is good. This is the beauty of freedom, to the interior initiation of something that is mine, that has its origin in me. And that thing, that act, because that is most profoundly what we initiate, that act is good and right. I initiate it because I want to. Causality, the who, the why, the how, the what, all those great questions, the causality of things is complex. Virgil knows that. You know that. Many things come to bear on what happens, on reality, on what I do. Many things bear on that. The beauty of the Aeneid is Virgil's contemplating on that. Some things can simply destroy our freedom. Passion destroys Dido's freedom. She is insane. She has lost her mind. She can no longer deliberate. She can't choose well. She can't choose right. And we know what the end of that is. She takes her life. Or causes can open our freedom to authentic flourishing. This, I think, is fundamentally the story of the Aeneid. Aeneas coming to authentic freedom and flourishing. For that to happen, for us to realize a new form of existence, this requires the truth. It requires an understanding of the cause of things. And it requires help. Most fully, it requires friendship. In Catholic studies, we say what we do. People ask me, what is Catholic studies? I'll tell you what it is. In Catholic studies, we study the impact of the Incarnation on human thought and culture. And because the Incarnation has impacted all aspects of human thought and culture, that means we study everything. The point is, why pick the Incarnation? Because the Incarnation changes everything. It perfects what Virgil knew. It reveals what even Virgil could never know. The greatest of all teachers said to those who learned from him, "You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." The arts of liberty. You will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. In your studies, you have pursued that truth. Why? So that you will be set free. Free for what? For happiness. There's our sequence again. Virgil and Christ agree on this. That greatest of all teachers also taught, I am the way, the truth, and the life. That, by the way, is why he is the greatest teacher. He doesn't simply know the truth, he is the truth. That's what he claimed. This is a mystery beyond Virgil. The truth is a person. The truth is a divine person. And that divine person who is the truth said, even more remarkably, even more mysteriously, well beyond anything Virgil could have conceived, he said to those who followed him, I no longer call you slaves, I have called you friends. The juxtaposition, it's not quite the pairing one would expect, is it? You would think he would say, I no longer call you slaves, I call you free. That's the juxtaposition. That's the antithesis, slave and free. But he says, you are no longer slaves, you are my friends. Exactly right. Because to be his friend is to be free. Because the truth sets you free. Friendship is the mark of the free man. I said if we're going to be truly free, we need the truth and we need friends. I don't need to tell Trinity grads about friendship. You've read the ethics. Not everybody up there has. So I'm going to tell you a very simple point about friends that Aristotle would tell you too, has told you. Good friends make you better, bad friends make you worse. Actually, everybody up there knows that too. Life tells you that one. 30 years of teaching, I've seen it. I see it every year among my students. Good friends make you better, bad friends make you worse. And you know there's different kinds of friendship. There are friendships based on emotions, feelings, and pleasure. There are friendships based on usefulness. I have nothing against friendships of pleasure and friendships of usefulness. I've got friends like that too. But if that's the only friendships you've got, you don't have friendship at its highest. You don't have friendship at its best. True friendships, highest friendships, are ordered around virtue. That means they're ordered around the true and the good. They're ordered to freedom. That's why you need the arts of liberty. So that you can find those people to be true friends. To share the good with those who love the good. To share the good that is truth itself, truth himself. To will the good for your friends. You will no doubt recognize that as the classic definition of love, to will the good for another. And the thing about friendship is you will the good for one who wills that good back for you. Friendship is mutual, and it is utterly dependent upon freedom. Because friendship is initiated in your heart. It initiates in your heart, and you will it. You want it. It doesn't happen otherwise. And fundamentally, you don't will friendship. You will the good for another. And because that other is one with whom you share the highest goods, that person wills the same for you. And the two of you create something. You realize something. I love that word, realize, by the way. Realize? There's realize in the sense, I just realized that. And there's realize in the sense of to make real, to bring into existence. In friendship, by your initiative, by your action, you realize friendship. It can't exist without that activity on your part. And the beautiful thing is it can't exist without that same activity on the part of your friend. And so we have love. Humans in relation one to another. That's when we are so exquisitely free, when we have friends rooted in the true, the good, and the beautiful. Oh, dear Trinity grads, you have begun a life in the arts of liberty. You've had a lot of content given you in your time at Trinity. But the liberal arts, the arts of liberty, aren't fundamentally about that content. Sorry, faculty. Content's very important. I love the content. That's why I'm talking about Virgil. But that content is ordered to another end, and that end is life. The life itself, to a kind of life. Living things grow. Living things grow. If they don't grow, they die. The world needs young men and women who are alive and who are free. Those go together. Who are not slaves to appetites, feelings, illusions, and electronic devices. Who are not enslaved by error, slogans, and muddled thinking. Rather, young people who are free and therefore able to deliberate, to initiate, to realize the good, to realize the true, to realize what is beautiful. My prayer for each of you is that you may grow in what you have begun here. May your future studies, and I don't necessarily just mean college, may the rest of your life as a rational being, may your future studies be a source of truth for you. May you always seek to know the cause of things. May your friendships be a source of goodness for you, a realization of your freedom and a defense of your freedom. For these lead to what we all want, happiness. Happy indeed the one who has been able to know the cause of things. May this be the mark of your life. Congratulations, one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Boyle.